Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for a social sports pad podcast.
You can smell the stink all the way from East Rutherford, New Jersey. Woo!
Oh, right. Everybody, all aboard the Week 1 hype train.
Choo-choo.
All right, so everybody, week 1 of the NFL regular season is in the books. I am your host, Ricky. With me, as always, as Ben and the Cobra. Our guests tonight are Jamie and Alex, and as I indicated, we are going to discuss week 1 reactions to the action that played on Sunday and Monday. And then we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the Thursday night game. So, again, as I said, I'm your host, Ricky. Ben, Cobra, Jamie, and Alex, thank you guys for being here. And we are going to go ahead and start by talking with some surprises that we saw on week 1. Now, these can be good or bad, but what surprised you in week 1? We're going to go ahead and start with Ben, then we're going to go with Cobra, then Jamie, then Alex, and end it with myself. So, Ben, go ahead and take us away. Give us one surprise that you saw with your very eyes in week 1.
How about that ass whooping on the Giants?
Yeah, that was like, the Giants definitely probably thought it was preseason.
No, it was Daniel Jones channeling his mentor, vintage Eli Manning.
So,
that was a rough game, man.
That is why he is Danny Diapers.
I mean, the Giants no-show, that was rough. Just the way your mother likes it. All right, so Cobra, give us a week 1 surprise.
I said it last year that this team was going to be an absolute, put the fear of God in you. Behold, the Detroit Lions beating the reigning, defending, undisputed champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, at their house. So the Detroit Lions,
Okay.
as I said in a podcast in the earliest podcast, not the earliest podcast, but the one we had last podcast we had, I said that the Lions were going to be the first upset of the year.
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna dispute you on that. Only because it was not the Lions that beat the Kansas City Chiefs Thursday night. It was the Kansas City Chiefs that lost that game. All right.
And Tony's hands.
Yeah, like Tony's hands.
Kadarius
Like he
Toney
had some alligator arms. No, actually, no, he had T-Rex arms.
No, he had an endorsement with Butterfinger. He must have been Bart Simpson.
No! Oh, right. So Jamie, I'm going to move to you. Give me a week 1 surprise that you saw.
My week 1 surprise is captioned by this phrase: all love in the land of the cheeseheads. The way the Green Bay Packers looked was absolutely surprising. First season game without Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love taking the reins, and there was no ill feel. That city of Green Bay is filled up with love.
I said it once before, I'll say it again. It is illegal for the Bears and the Jets to have a franchise quarterback.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, the Packers are the second team this week that Aaron Rodgers didn't show up for.
But
all
right.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Alex, what was your surprise?
The Texans defense against the Ravens, they were all over Lamar in that backfield on Sunday.
Yeah, the Texans did not suck as hard as you expected. They definitely had that anonymous suck a little bit to them, but hey, it kind of happens. So my surprise was, and as you guys are going in a good direction, my surprise was how ineffective the Cincinnati Bengals were against the Cleveland Browns. Now, I mean, I understand it was a divisional game. It is also one of the hardest rivalries in the NFL, that Battle of Ohio. But this was a offense that everybody was like, this was going to give them an old 86, that they were going to go into town and a whooping and a hollering, and they're going to whoop everybody's ass. But
The Browns treated the Bengals like the Sean Cosby treats his masseurs.
at least, I hope he tipped them.
At least
just,
I hope he gave him a cigarette at least.
but no, the Bengals were definitely very ineffective, and a lot of people are like, yeah, Joe Burrow should be embarrassed for himself for how bad they were playing. But dude, man, like seriously, he's just crying into his money. He just got
I'm gonna say
paid.
that is the biggest heist in NFL history. Kudos
No,
to Joe
that's
Burrow.
Carson Wentz. That's Carson Wentz.
Albert Hainsworth.
Deshaun Watson.
Now, Joe Burrow, over $200 million, and he went out and just stole that money from Roger Goodell. My
Jamarcus
man
Russell.
seriously has
Jamarcus
missing
Russell.
person report out looking for him.
I mean, another one that's kind of an honorable mention is actually those upsets. The Chiefs losing, the Bengals losing, and finally the Buffalo Bills losing. These were three Super Bowl contending teams, three teams that, basically everybody was, gobbling on that knob, for, and they
just got
all
spanked.
kind of shit the bed. Particularly Buffalo. Which we'll kind of go on to in our next segment. Basically, since we're talking surprises, we're talking week one. Week one is absolutely the most fucky week in the NFL.
Week one, and the final weeks are always.
I'm not
most
even gonna
fucky.
say no.
What?
The final weeks are only fucky if you're playing in a fantasy championship. All
I
right?
disagree.
But no, week one is always the fuckiest.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Week one is one. How many times do you sit down and like, this guy still plays? But it's just, there are things about week one where you can take it with a grain of salt, or
And that's what
kind
we're
of
about to get into later on in this podcast.
Yep, that's why I said it was all aboard the hype train. Because we're going to ride this hype train. So what our next segment is going to be is basically with things that are going on, things that you've seen kind of hype-wise in the NFL. Give me one, and it's going to be all of you, kind of the same order as we just did. One hype train that we need to pump the brakes on, and one we need to go full steam ahead on. All right. So again, Ben, I want you to give me your full stop and then your full speed ahead, and we'll go. Everybody goes well on that. Okay.
All right. We're gonna full stop on the Cowboys choo-choo train currently.
I smell bias.
'Cause,
I smell bias in that one.
There could be bias in that one, but they played the Giants, and I already said in the beginning of the season that the Giants weren't going to do shit anyway, and I already said they were going to suck. I have no faith in I don't know why everybody thought the Giants were going to be good. I pause the brakes on the Cowboys, because the Giants are who they were on Sunday.
All right, and who's your full speed ahead?
Full speed ahead. Browns. The Browns are legit. Everybody wants to laugh at them. They're legit.
Yeah, definitely a strong defense is showing. They were moving at will on the Cincinnati defense. I definitely see that going. Cobra, give me your trains.
All right, so to pump the brakes on this, and I'm gonna upset a lot of people, including Ben, on this one. One that is going to be pump the brakes is going to be the Washington Commanders. Look, I watched that game, and I have to watch this game because I'm with my fiance. So I watched that game with her. Oi. Anyway, I watched that game, and seriously, Sam Howell didn't impress me. He couldn't move the ball. He made almost as many mistakes as Josh Allen on Monday night. Like,
It's not his
seriously.
fault he couldn't move the ball, though. The O-line couldn't protect. But also, the Cardinals' defense was playing really hard.
Again, let's compare him to Josh Allen on that one. But that's my pump the brakes on the Washington Commanders.
But
However,
I agree.
But full speed ahead, the San Francisco 49ers.
What?
Mhm. Yes.
Full speed ahead on the San Francisco 49ers because they just told every single Yinzer that your team isn't gone to Super Bowl. Period. Fuck you, Yinzers.
I mean,
So,
not gonna lie, it was gonna be a hard road for the Steelers to, basically, I'm going to Super Bowl, or however the fuck you say it. I mean, they're going to have problems even making it into the playoffs with their division.
the problem I have with the 49ers is that if CMC goes down, so does the 49ers.
CMC's a non-factor.
No, he's
Bullshit.
still a factor.
Bullshit.
He's
a factor.
But I mean, that offense is loaded.
I mean, Ayuk had 3 touchdowns. I mean, Ayuk was
They're
the main
loaded
thing in
on
that
I mean,
offense.
not gonna lie. In a fantasy perspective, pump the brakes on Ayuk. But hey, that's here nor there. But
That team is stacked on both sides of the ball. They're the only
They're-
fully
they're
complete
stacked.
team in
They're
the
definitely
NFL.
stacked.
All right.
But I mean,
I
they
mean,
lose
this
Christian McCaffrey.
the
they're
49ers could have been your Super Bowl champions.
Yes.
All right. The
If
only
Kirk
reason
didn't get hurt.
the only reason why they were not Super Bowl champions is because Purdy and Josh Johnson got hurt. They literally had Christian McCaffrey as quarterback for a time in that conference championship game.
Yep.
All right. This team could have been your champions.
Yes.
And almost like a certain other team in the AFC, they changed a rule because of loss that they had in the playoffs.
And we'll get to that.
I
I will get to that.
All right. So anyway, moving on, Jamie, it's time to run the train on you. I mean, what? It's time
Wow.
for you to talk about that.
This isn't all.
Or basically, Zach Wilson at a Red Hat committee meeting.
Again, this isn't Officer Megan Hall here, ladies
anyway.
and gentlemen.
All right, so Jamie, let's go ahead and what is your hype trains? Slow roll and full speed ahead. Go ahead.
So all off season long, it's all about Ben Aaron Rodgers. So it's funny you made the Zach Wilson comment because my pump the brakes is on the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers going down, Garrett Wilson, that stout defense that New York has, pump the brakes. With Zach Wilson being there, they're not going anywhere. It's going to be another depressing year for the Jets. And on that note, with Aaron Rodgers going down 4 plays later, if you ever need to return any of those jerseys that you just bought, you can use our code Summer on Fanatics and get yourself a Breece Hall jersey. At least he's going to be there for a little while longer.
That's right, Fanatics.com. Use our affiliate link in the Spotify link down below.
Now, remember that summer link, the summer code is only usable until September 18th at 11:58 p.m. So, hurry to fanatics.com now. Get yourself a replacement for your Aaron Rodgers jersey. Maybe you can even kind of custom make it to I think a purple and gold jersey color for potential next year narrative. Anyway, moving on. What are we full speed ahead on, Jamie?
Are we allowed to make it the same as what someone else had already said?
Yes.
Or do I have to be different?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, question: is it someone's full speed ahead or somebody's brakes?
Somebody's full speed ahead.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going with the Cobra. Full speed ahead for the San Francisco 49ers. Holy smokes. That defense is stacked. They got the best linebacker. They got the best safety, the best outside edge, the best interior lineman.
Smart
And
man.
on the offensive side,
Oh, work
Brock
the
Purdy is acting
shaft.
like-
Work the shaft.
Oh, you dirty bitch.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I mean, when you
heard
look on
like
paper
dirty
and
talk when you're sucking someone's dick right there. So,
I mean,
go ahead.
you got to
you know,
give
for
respect
both
where
of you.
respect is earned. They have the most stacked team in the NFL, and it will be an absolute travesty if they are not in the championship game, playing for a shot at the Super Bowl.
It would suck.
All right. So, Alex, it's your turn. You're the pivot man. Go ahead and full stop, full speed ahead.
I think we need to pump the brakes, dead stop on the Seahawks. How can you lose to a Cooper Cup-less Rams with a rookie wide receiver? And that offense was atrocious for Geno Smith. That was an embarrassment for Seattle football. I think it was at home. You get blown out by a Ram with a Cup-less Ram team. How does that even happen?
Yeah, and that's not the only Seattle team that can kick in the dick. Hello, Mariners.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's all right.
What did they
So
do to
full
you?
speed ahead, Alex. Yeah, we're definitely moving away from that one.
I think we're all in group consensus that the 49ers are going to
All
be
right, and I'm going to cut it off. All
Mhm.
right, we're going to cut off the 49ers cocksucking special. All right, let's get another team. All right.
I mean, they are in San Francisco, home of the Pride Parades.
Hey,
Hello.
cut
Good
this shit
Lord.
out. All right, like seriously, San Francisco, I understand, is the absolute most balanced team right now in the NFL. That basically whooped that ass. All right, but there are 31 other cocks in the NFL that need to be sucked, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. All
Why
right.
don't you go on your knees and do it then?
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
Shout
I
about
am not.
Equal
I don't
rights,
have. I don't
equal
have
rights
the mouth
here.
for
Come
that,
on.
sir. All right. Anyway. Let's go full speed on another trade. Thank you very much.
No, that's what she said.
Megan Hall.
I think full speed ahead would be call me crazy, but the Los Angeles Chargers, that offense was high powered. It was a shootout in Miami. They lost by three or 4 points, but Justin Herbert looked good. The offense looked good. The O-line, there's a little work to protect Herbert in the closing seconds. They cost him the game, but I think that Chargers offense cannot be underestimated. And that defense looked pretty solid in Miami too, only giving up 36 points. It's hard to let that happen in Miami against that high-powered offense.
All right.
So I am pumping the brakes on Green Bay.
Huh.
I am pumping the brakes on Green Bay. I mean,
Is it because of the Bears?
The Bears.
for the Bears. Basically the Bears
The
did
Ba-
not play that game right.
They've been what they've always been in life. Green Bay's little brother.
Yeah,
Little
little
bitch.
brother.
Bitch!
Just saying. All right, but no. Basically, in that game, the offensive coordinator, they need to take him out back and bury him in the parking lot of the new
Oh, I thought you
stadium.
were gonna say something else.
All right, but no, because you mean to tell me you go out and you trade for DJ Moore and you do nothing with him? Nothing.
That sounds like the Bears.
I mean, really, like me, I would have first play of the fucking game would have been 4 verticals, and basically told everybody go deep, fucking throw it.
Deep outs. Not
Well, no,
verticals, deep outs.
No, just throw them out. Go far. Basically what? Because the Bears did not stretch that field at all.
No.
All right, the longest throw for the Bears went to Darnell Mooney. All right, their defense couldn't stop nothing. Could not stop the run.
It was
And,
Mooney.
actually, no. They could not stop Aaron Jones. They could stop A.J. Dillon. Like, A.J. Dillon was definitely... Oh, he was terrible. But for the Packers, definitely slow your brakes, lower your expectations. They are not going to win the NFC North. Now, the hype train I am absolutely full speed ahead on is the 40. No, I'm not going to do that. Fuck you guys. But no, the hype train that I am definitely going behind on this is the Miami Dolphins. All right, that offense, I
There
mean,
is
is
your king
always
of the
explosive.
AFC right there.
But,
Now. The
you know,
new king of the AFC is for this year.
Yeah, crown them. They've had a good defense.
Yes.
All right, as long as Tua stays healthy,
And his brain
All
doesn't
right.
turn to soup.
I will go out on a limb and say that this is going to be your 1 seed.
Damn.
That is my bold prediction with this is Miami, as long as Tua stays healthy, is going to be your 1 seed.
I disagree with that.
I would go even
statement.
further.
I mean, it's gonna be Miami or San
I
Fran.
would say Miami.
mean,
No,
No, I do not want to say Miami 49ers Super Bowl because
I'm saying
that
it.
happened last.
I'm
That
saying
happened
it.
last time they faced each other in Super Bowl. Anywho,
So I got a question for you guys. Do we want to go good or the bad first?
let's go bad.
Let's go with the bad.
yeah.
All right, boys. All right, rev them up.
Rev up your
It's time,
boys.
baby. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is take time. All right. So everybody,
Thanks, Tom.
all right. So basically, where most people have like these are your power rankings. These are basically your bottom 5 guys. The guys that, well, I mean, they might not be your, race for Caleb Williams of USC. But these are the guys that, basically they took all of it with a smile. So basically give me your bottom 5 teams of week 1. We will start off with Ben, Cobra, Jamie, Alex, and me. So number 5.
All right, we're gonna go with number 5. Let me scour this and just make sure I get this properly.
I mean,
Taken
they don't
down
have to
here.
be like, okay, it doesn't have to be the G-men because they couldn't score, couldn't stop anything.
So
couldn't-
we're only going by week 1, not just 5.
Yeah, but it's
Right.
not overall. I mean, you can kind of projectulate their future based on stuff that happened, but, hey, go ahead. Yeah, I do expect
Alright.
kind of a little bit of discrepancy between everybody.
All right, so I got this. So right now, my top 5 right now, number 5 is going to be the Bungles. There's no way they should have lost that game by that much. Definitely worry right now at this point. Don't worry too hard because it is only the first week. These next teams, though, it's not going to get any better. I'm going to put the Panthers 4th. I'll put the I'm gonna put the Steelers 3rd, Texans 2nd, and
Okay.
by God, the Giants are in number 1 spot right now.
Okay. All right. So Cobra, give me your 5 suckers.
Number 5 is really frustrating to me because this team was peak 2 years ago, and now what the absolute fuck? Because it is Buffalo at number 5 because Josh Allen is more focused on his fucking driver than the goddamn play on the field.
I wouldn't say that.
Bullshit.
But
Bull fucking shit. 3 interceptions and 0-5 in overtime. Are you fucking with me?
calm it the fuck down. All right. I mean, I can talk about the Buffalo Bills all day, but basically, we'll do that when I go to mine. All right. So number 4.
Number 4, the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, they did look bad.
Yep. Number 3, Carolina.
Okay. I mean, Carolina had the lead in that game.
Yes.
They just could not put 4 quarters together.
Right.
Like, that was almost a good upset.
Right.
All right.
Number 2, the Colts. Because fuck you, Jim Irsay.
Okay, so that's a in
And
there.
number 1, the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
Oh my God, that game was a shit fest. Josh McDaniels walked all over you. Russell Wilson, you are terrible. You need to join Aaron Rodgers in the retire. Just fucking retire.
Wow. All right. Jamie.
I mean, honestly, he probably will.
He might.
Yeah, mute the mic.
Stretch it a little bit. But yeah. So. All right. So, basically, Jamie, go ahead with yours. Cobra had to step away for a little bit.
So number 5, I actually have the Denver Broncos at number 5.
Okay.
I think this definitely was not their best game by any means, but it was about what I expected with it being the first Sean Payton game with Russell Wilson and all Sean Payton guys. I don't see them getting into the mid tier. They're always going to be hovering that bottom 10, bottom 5 range. But for this week, they get the 5 spot.
Okay. Number 4.
Number 4 will be the Cincinnati Bengals. It was officially their first preseason game with Joe Burrow back. It was just an absolute hell for Big Dick Joe, as they call him out there in Cincinnati. And
I thought it was Joe Cole, but okay. If you want to give him a big
according
day.
to some of my friends who live out in the Cole, that's what they call him now because of the extension.
Okay.
He has an extension dick.
I do apologize.
I mean, he's got a bunch of money. He can afford that shit. But anyway.
True.
All right.
But
Bengals still.
But
No gadget.
Joe Burrow cannot do anything against the Browns. It's a proven fact.
So he doesn't like a poop shoot. Got it.
Number 3.
He must be scared of dogs. He must be scared of dogs. That's
Probably.
Either that or he doesn't want to get touched by the
he's
Sean
scared of
Cosby.
his. He was scared
Number
of his.
3 will be the Carolina Panthers. A lot of hype around their first round draft pick, Adam Thielen coming to town, and absolute buckets.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2 will be the New York Football Giants, overpaid for a below average quarterback when they should have spent it on their running back. And they're now reaping the repercussions. You could literally see the disgust on the man that gave Daniel Jones that contract right on air.
All right. Number 1.
And number 1, I'm going to say, and I don't expect them to be here next week, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are number 1. Absolutely getting mauled on both ends of the ball. They did not show up to play, and it was pretty apparent. But I think they'll have a revenge game and next week, and they won't be here. But for this week, they deserve it.
Or they could pull one of their former star receivers and take off all their stuff in the middle of the game and just say, peace.
So here's my problem with the Steelers.
There you go.
They were overhyped in the preseason, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Kenny Pickett's this, Kenny Pickett's that." I'm still not on the Kenny Pickett train yet.
I am not on the board with tiny hands either. So what's your point?
All right, Alex. What's your 5?
I'm gonna go with Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill struggled in that game. The offense was not rolling. Derrick Henry seemed to struggle on the ground, getting going in that game, and they just struggled defensively to keep the opponent held to points. I mean, that was a pathetic performance by Tannehill in that game.
I think
All right.
Derrick Henry's best days are behind him.
They said that 3 years ago, and then King Henry happened. So,
I don't know.
all right,
don't
number
feel-
4.
Go with the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is not their quarterback. That offense struggled early against the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles have a very tough and powerful defense. But the Patriots had success last year against tough defenses, and they were slow ground running, and they barely were going in that game in the second half, and it didn't end up working for them.
Spoiler alert for Patriots fans: Mac Jones was never your quarterback. Facts.
He was, in my opinion, a stopgap kind of until that next guy. I mean, it's an absolute shame for the Patriots though, because their defense is way too good for that abysmal offense.
And I hate to say this, but it's well deserved, and I don't care.
Number 3.
Go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett is not a good quarterback. That offense was atrocious. And the fact that Steelers fans were all hyped for that game and then go into their house and beat San Fran is an embarrassment for the black and gold. Hopefully they bounce back next week, but my God, that is an abysmal offense for that team. And the defense was not any better.
They tried to avoid the mistakes of not picking up Dan Marino when they had the chance, and well, tiny hands.
Okay, number 2.
Tiny hands.
I'm going to go with the Giants. Obviously, 40 mil ends up getting them asses blown out by 40 points. 40 mil, 40-point blowout. Makes a lot of sense. Saquon has bristol hands. I get it was rainy. I get it was wet. But my God, the Bengals game was raining too, and the Bengals still started to get going in that game. And why pay Daniel 40 mil when you have Saquon that can run the ball way better than he can?
The Giants ended up being the end result of a Shao Kahn fatality from Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay. Number 1.
The Seattle Seahawks. I said it earlier, but breaking because of the abysmal offense, they were just atrocious. They were probably up most 2 worse than the Giants on primetime television. Again, Cooper Liss Cup Rams, you should have easily beat them. Geno Smith needs to get his shit together, or Pete Carroll might have to reconsider his job, or even Smith as the quarterback.
Okay. So I mean, kind of like the couple like Seahawks. The thing with it is, and I'll go with this with the Giants. The thing that helped Geno Smith last year was it was a surprise. There's no surprise anymore, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what's hurting the Seahawks. Same with the Giants. But my number 5 is actually the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, the Indianapolis Colts did play a hard game against the Jacksonville Jaguars and showed us that the Jags were not as good as we put them out to be. All right. But Anthony Richardson, you, sir, are going to die this season.
Thank you,
The way you are playing lights out, almost like another mobile quarterback in a very bad team. Does anybody want to guess at what his name is?
Justin Fields.
Jalen Hurts. Oh,
No.
sorry. Justin Fields.
No, actually, he's known by 2 letters and a number. RG3. Basically, that is what reminds me of Anthony Richardson. He even got hurt at the end of that game. And honestly, for them to hold him out, all right, even though they're like, yeah, he could have gone in. All right, I'm sorry, that's a bitch move. And not gonna lie, that was baby back bitch. Because Matthew Stafford, remember, legendarily, he had a broken fucking arm and beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that one. All right.
It's still Jim Irsay, though.
Okay, number 4 is the Chicago Bears. All right. I put the Chicago Bears on here because they had no business losing that game. All right.
3 words. DJ Moore didn't use it.
Well, as I said earlier, all right, they did not use their Cadillac, DJ Moore. All right. Their running game that they spent money on, getting.
They spent money on a Rolls-Royce Phantom, and they're not whipping it out of the garage.
Yeah, especially on opening day. Opening day, I am whipping everything out, man. Like, hey, let's go ahead and do it.
Tesla and put some thoughts in it.
You want to smack it on the tabletop and let them know it's business time.
Let them, especially, Aaron Rodgers is gone in Green Bay.
It is a new era in the NFC North. Show them why you deserve to be the top. Exactly.
Yeah, but they didn't. Okay. But there is some promise for the Chicago Bears. Johnson, he needs to be that starter. It was ineffective with Herbert and Devonta Foreman. They probably were playing against, second string and whatnot, but still, the offense started to move, and it showed that they kind of got behind the rookie and gave him that touchdown at the end of the game. But hey, they need to do better going forward. Number 3 is the Giants. For me, the Giants kind of fall into that Seattle Seahawks category that I was talking earlier. That basically the surprises go for, man, for Brian Daboll. All right. Brian Daboll was a shock last year.
Not really.
Well,
we saw what he could do in Buffalo. Then when he moves to the Giants, he starts surprising people. Now the flair's gone.
I mean, coaching that awful offense, Daniel Jones, kind of means a lot.
Yeah. The best comparison I can give to Brian Daboll is he became Dominic Hasek in the playoffs. Yeah.
But dude, it's just the Giants didn't show up. Okay, they did not show up. They probably thought the game was Tuesday night. They're probably on the field right now like, hey, where are the Cowboys? Number 2. Number 2 is my team, the Buffalo Bills. And I am really going to go here. And the reason why I put them at number 2, I originally had them at 4, but I swapped them with the Bears because the Bears got promise. All right. The Buffalo Bills right now, the problem they have is under center with Josh Allen. All right.
What, the quarterback?
Josh Allen, the quarterback. All right.
And
basically, I want everybody to shut up right now. I want this to be flagged to Josh Allen, and I want him to listen, and I want him to listen good. You, sir, need to remember your place as a quarterback. You are supposed to be an elite quarterback, and you played on Monday night like you were JV high school. You did not do any progressions. I could have played cornerback and picked you off 3 times, sir. All right? You stared down your receivers like you had a vendetta against them. Yeah, your offensive line didn't block for you. All right? But that stuff goes in time. Not any offensive line is super stout in the beginning, unless you're a Romo Dallas Cowboys team. All right? But the Buffalo Bills are not going to be in the AFC East, playoff picture. They're not going to be in the number 1. They're not going to go to the Super Bowl. They're not going to do any of that unless you, sir, nut the fuck up. All right? Be a man. Because you played like a boy against a guy who, when he comes out in Rich Stadium, that's what I call it, in Orchard Park, he should come out to Fountains of Wayne Stacy's mom. Zach Wilson when the Jets go to Buffalo. All right? This team is designed for you. You make it work. You check down if you need to. Work your progressions. Play the fucking game. All right? Forget about what happened 2 years ago when 13 seconds stopped you from making it to the AFC Championship. Because that showed against Cincinnati. That showed all last year with a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnovers. You were trying so hard to be that. Be Josh Allen, the guy who can win, the guy who had fun, the guy who would slap his teams and cheer them on instead of sitting on the bench whenever mistakes were made. The one that Buffalo respects and needs.
The number 2 in the MVP voting list that you were, Josh Allen.
Instead of being number 2 in the MVP list, you played last night like you were just number 2. And number 1 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Reason why Pittsburgh Steelers are my tankman of the week is because it does not look good. Yeah, the 49ers are elite. They are great, and you were the sacrifice that they had this week. But not only did you lose that game and lose that game bad, you lost Deontay Johnson. So you have to rely heavily more on George Pickens and now on Allen Robinson. Najee Harris has been ineffective. You need to get you a nice number 2 running back. Get you a Thunder to your Lightning. And fix yourself.
It might be time for Tomlin to go too. When
when
AB is dunking on you, saying, "Hey, need a receiver?" You've got problems.
Okay, Antonio Brown's just going to cherry pick because
He's a troll.
Antonio Brown can't even play his own players in the arena.
Antonio Brown can't even hold my job.
And it's not
Right
Tomlin's
now.
fault. I mean, he's never had a losing season ever.
And that's been the problem. He's been wafting
This
his
wasn't
in
last
his.
year.
No.
He
They
He
were
has
like
been
9-8 last year.
Listen to me. That's been Mike Tomlin's whole big problem. He's been wafting his own shit for too goddamn long. He's gotten long in the tooth. He doesn't even fucking know it yet. No
Right.
matter how he goes bug-eyed.
Okay, so enough of the bad, and let's go with the good. I want, and this is going to be something that our wonderful fans and listeners will be able to vote on. This will be our poll for each and every one of these reaction weeks. We are now going to nominate our Holla at Your Boy. Woo! Woo! All right, so this is your Holla at Your Boy. This is one man. This is a man amongst boys. This is the top of the mountain, king of the mountain, cream of the crop. Ooh, yeah.
The
The
king
cream
Kong
of the crop
them all.
rising always to the top. Yeah! All right,
Boy.
so everybody, I want one guy that you say stands above the rest. If it's just only for this week, this man will be our Holla at Your Boy. So, Ben, who's your Holla at Your Boy?
Who is my holla at the boy? Let me see. You know, Tua Tagovailoa played hell of a fucking game. Let's give him that.
So Ben's going with Tua.
All right. Cobra?
Jordan Whitehead.
I hate you.
Great minds think alike, brother.
I mean, again, like I said, like the way Josh Allen was playing quarterback last night, I could have probably had 3 interceptions on him. But, you know,
You
hey,
thought
Jordan Whitehead.
You thought Whitehead was Diggs.
Yeah, pretty much. Jamie, who is your boy?
For this week is Tyreek Hill. My man had 200 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns in a single game. That top tier.
That's moist.
All right, Alex, who's your holla at your boy?
Little surprise, but I'm going with Bijan Robinson. He dominated that field with Tyler Algier, but my goodness, is he going to be a threat for the Falcons for years to come and a threat in the South to traumatize everybody?
All right, now it comes to me. First off, Cobra, fuck you. All right. Secondly, Jamie, fuck you. You guys stole my freaking first and my backup. All right. Now I gotta actually think on like what I gotta do with my holla at your boy. All right. Who are my boys? Who are my boys?
Oh, we know who
what
two
do
of them
we
are.
got? Go.
You could say MetLife Stadium's.
No. So, basically, you know what? This is gonna be this. Yeah, I know who I'm going with as my boy. The man could not be stopped. Only by his own hand can he be stopped. Right last week. The man that goes by the name of Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers, like
You done messed up, Aaron.
yeah, they definitely kept the right Aaron in Green Bay, but yeah, like he would have had so many more fantasy points, yards, and probably even another touchdown or two if it wasn't for the fact that he came up lame on that second touchdown that he had. So basically, those are our holla at your boy players of the week nominations. Tua Tagovailoa, Jordan Whitehead, Tyreek Hill, Bijan Robinson, and Aaron Jones. Everybody definitely go ahead and select one of these guys. Definitely deserving of getting a jersey bought from fanatics.com.
Once again, use the affiliate link in the Spotify below.
Rest
Yep,
of Bijan.
and-
Rest of Bijan.
I mean, you definitely get a good Bijan. I mean, what?
A good B.
So anyway,
A good
Uh,
blowjob.
so before we wrap things up, basically, is there anything else we want to add? Basically, before we give our send off.
Sure, if you guys heard, Marcus Peters signed with the Seahawks on a 1-year contract. The 40-year-old is still playing.
I mean, yeah, and it's definitely a tougher position than quarterback. I mean, God, it's like, all right, Brady coming back, probably has a chance of coming back to the Jets, especially if Colin Kaepernick has reached out to the New York Jets, like, hey, maybe you guys need a quarterback that's not been in the league for 8 years. I'm your boy.
Perfect.
Black man quarterback. Once back in the league again. How surprised?
I mean,
Perfect.
he's just doing that to just stay relevant. I mean, honestly,
I mean, he's in this video game coming out, and he's trying to stay relevant. So, I mean,
To be fair, that
It
video
is
game
what
does
it
look
is.
good.
I don't know. I guess. I mean, it kind of looks good. I guess. I don't know.
all right, and
I mean, it's
I
better
do
than
also
Madden.
want to deliver some wonderful
Whoa.
good news for everybody. Kind of on the bright side of everything. We are probably going to see more Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I love that.
All right,
shit, bro.
yeah, definitely.
Big Fit Rodgers, here we
Aaron
come.
Aaron Rodgers is definitely done for the season with that Achilles injury. Also, Achilles tears is the new ACL.
No, Achilles tears are not the new ACL. They are the end of the games.
Well, I was gonna say, so basically, like a few years ago, the ACL
has
was
to be
basically your
done.
be all end all. You're done.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, we've had 2 ACL tears this week alone with J.K. Dobbins and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers
I
didn't
mean,
have ACL.
huh?
Aaron Rodgers didn't have ACL.
No, it was Achilles.
Yeah, and with Achilles.
Yeah, as J.K. Dobbins, tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
So basically, this plays into the player health standards, kind of as Cobra has mentioned, been an advocate for a few times on this show of the extended roster. I know a lot of owners are against it because that kind of goes into an extended salary cap and a lot more money out.
But too many players are getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Baltimore. Baltimore, like every year they go down to like guy in the supermarket is going to be playing running back. So
I mean, you increase the schedule one game. It only makes sense to increase the roster by at least 5 players. Two offensive, 2 defensive, and 1 flex being able to play both sides of the ball.
I mean, it works.
Yes.
That way you can, I don't know, rest somebody a little bit better.
Seriously, we're losing too many stars.
I mean, not every player is Cordell Patterson, Taysom Hill in the flex. I mean,
but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean.
And like it's just kind of like irrelevant now. Like how I mean, week 1 is fucky. So anybody, if you're starting to play fantasy football, if you're even if you're a seasoned veteran in fantasy football, definitely make sure that you don't panic. Do not panic on your team. Do not give up on your season. I mean,
I will acknowledge this as well, Ricky. Playing into your fantasy football, I have 2 players on the IR. I can't move. Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor. I can't move them.
Well, I mean, it depends on your league. A lot of leagues do have that IR space. I know I have a couple leagues where I do have that IR space.
Yes.
Last year was the COVID space.
Yeah.
I mean, the game modifies for. But again, player safety is absolutely something that is key that the NFL keeps preaching on, but yet they don't do anything for.
It's Goodell. What do you expect?
Yeah, talks a big game and then blows the pooch.
That's why EA still owns the NFL monopoly on video.
It's irrelevant. Honestly, with the way video games are, Sega, 2K would fuck it up.
What did they escape FIFA? EA escaped FIFA for a purpose.
All right, so
it's that FIFA was wanting they're wanting a lower.
Anyway, we can speculate with that, but basically, for now, so we can talk into other things and basically keep things on football here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the wonderful sign off. Jamie, Jamie and Alex, thank you for coming in again. This was definitely fun to have you guys here. Definitely a nice, fun little, fun episode. Oh shit, we almost forgot. There is one more thing we definitely need to talk about really quick. And it is Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Thursday night football is going to be. Let me
it's going to be the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
To the link we go.
Yeah, to the link we go. So on paper, this is an absolute wonderful matchup. Both were teams that were playoff contenders, division winners, and just great on paper. Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins.
However, it's
not 1 o'clock. I know it's not 1 o'clock, but still, it's Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson going against Jalen Hurts and that mega powered offense. So we will go ahead and let's kind of give ourselves a prediction.
Just pick a team.
Yep, pick a team. Who do you see winning on Thursday night? So Ben, give us
Just say your team. Don't explain.
Yep.
Well,
Thursday night. Ben? Cobra?
I have the Eagles winning this one.
Jamie?
Not here.
Okay.
Did you
Jamie,
not get my
not here.
answer?
Alex.
Did you not hear me?
Alex?
Eagles.
All right. Ben, you still there?
Do you not hear me?
Eagles. I mean, I think it's definitely going to be a clean sweep with everybody. The Vikings were not playing all that well on Sunday, and I mean the Eagles weren't playing all that good either. But
They played better than the Vikings.
yeah, pretty much. And Madison is not as good as Dalvin Cook. They didn't replace the Madison edge of the team. So yeah, I definitely see the Minnesota Vikings. So let's sign off. Take two. Basically, Jamie and Alex, definitely thank you again. Cobra and Ben, thank you again for being with us and being with me as we go through this NFL season. And those listening at home, absolutely thank you for letting us come in and entertaining you for an hour or so every week. We definitely appreciate you. Go ahead and keep on spreading our word out. Follow the links on our page,
on our Spotify,
I think we have like an email. If you have any questions that we can answer, we'll definitely go ahead and try our best. But yeah, for the Social Sports Pad podcast, I have been Ricky, and I am wishing you a good night, a good week, and always a good season. Thank you.